Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita with Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly from My Soulful Home. And we've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 69, Staircases, Rise to the Occasion.
And don't tread on me in the process.
Oh my.
Make it stop.
Today we're going to talk about staircases. And I think they are one of the most overlooked areas of our home. If you have more than a one-story home, you probably have a staircase. And I think they get a little ignored because, to be honest, I think it's like, oh, what do you do with them other than what's architecturally there?
Well, and you have to be careful because there's not a lot of space to do much with,
That's
not a lot of floor
exactly right.
space. So
well, there isn't,
really are limited.
But you can do a lot of different things with them, especially if you're, obviously we want you to have a nice, safe, secure stair space. But I know one dilemma that I've had in my house, and I'm sure a lot of people do too, if you have a house with any age on it, like your staircase is outdated. And I know that ours was pretty outdated, and I know how we fixed it. But Anita, I know that you have done something with your staircase in the house you have right now.
Well, we built the house from scratch. So fortunately, I was not replacing things, but you could do these things with an old staircase.
Yes.
So we went with the metal post, metal railing, and from the newel post, I found an antique garden, wrought iron garden post from an old fence.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And use that. You'll need somebody who's an out-of-the-box thinker to make that work for you, but it's very unique looking, and I love our staircase. It's very pretty. There's a lot of things you can do to customize them. So you can rip out what you have and put in something new. And actually, we have a mountain house that we're renting out as a vacation rental right now, and it has the honey oak, which it's not my taste.
Yes.
On the stairs, a stair railing. And so I have a big job in front of me to figure out what we're going to do in there because I don't like the way it looks right now. So we got to figure all this out. And the stairs are carpeted, which is not also my favorite. So I've got a project in the making there.
You do have a project, but
imagine
Anita,
how much honey oak stain was sold during that period of
time.
Everything was honey oak, and I never was a fan.
In it.
Everything.
Now, in my area, they called it golden oak.
Yeah.
Well,
and we did have a golden oak in our last house, and that was in style. And then when we moved into this house, that was in style. But then I just got tired of it. So we did totally transform it without ripping anything out. And what we did is my husband primed it, and he painted it with a glossy black paint. And then we had
everything, even the
no.
posts?
This is just the handrail. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And our posts were painted then white.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's a very sort of a classic look.
It's classic, and I think that's one of the simplest. Although painting sometimes can be a bear, but
it is.
I think
it was a bear.
Well, I guess I shouldn't say the simplest, but that's a lot cheaper, much cheaper than ripping everything out.
And
Definitely.
we really liked the newel at the bottom, and we loved how it sort of had a turnout to it. And we liked the railing had a little bit of detail on it, and the spindles all did. So we liked what we saw. We just didn't like the color. It had good bones, but it needed to be changed. Now, I do have to say where we've used it hard over the last several years, and it's probably my jewelry, like on my watch and things, as I go down the stairs, we have to touch that up. I'm just noticing that. But it's an easy fix. And then we painted our risers white.
Yes, that's such a clean, classic look. There's so many things you can do there, but I really love the white on the risers.
Well, that's what we have too. Our staircase has been around so long; it's back in fashion.
That's what happens.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's fairly ornate as far as the they're not really spindles. It's kind of all one piece, and then it has a very thick handrail, and then it turns at the bottom, and it has a really beautiful newel post on either side.
Is it a big clunky kind of craftsman style?
No, it's not craftsman, but it's, it's definitely has a Victorian feel to it. It's a little bit more ornate. And then if
I don't think I've seen pictures of that.
I'll show you. I have done the entryway and a couple of posts.
I'll have to look for it.
Well, and to me, that newel post is really the anchor of the stairs. So I love to have something really dramatic there. So that might not be that big a deal to change just that out.
No, I think that changing a newel post isn't, but I do have a story about that. But just getting back to my staircase in the front, talking about something dramatic, I do have a post on, I'll put it in the show notes. We have what I affectionately call the Lady of the Stairs. She is a light, and it's a woman with these.
On your newel post?
It's actually the post that starts the landing, and then there's 3 more steps down to the newel post.
Oh my!
When we first moved in, it was just like, oh my, like
It's a light that looks like a lady.
Well, it is a lady. She's a little statue. You guys didn't see this, and then
no, I need pictures.
She has light. I mean, she lights up. She has a little switch, and
wait a minute. What about her lights up? I'm not picturing this.
Well, she has lights over her, like little.
Okay, lights on over her head. It's not like her face lights up.
No, her face doesn't light up.
Okay, I'm just thinking I don't want to run into her in the middle of the night.
No. She is a light. There is.
It sounds like 1920s to me.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of an Art Deco feel.
Art Deco.
And she's kind of like made with a cork on the bottom, and she just plugs right in, and the wire goes through the post down and under the house. So when we first moved in, I thought, I'm really not sure about that. And I did a post, or I think I did an Instagram and maybe a post about it, and had people ring in. And 2 people, actually, someone Ann Drake from on Sutton Place, and another lady, both said that was a sign. If you had something like that, a light like that, pretty ornate on your staircase, historically, it was a sign that your house was paid off.
Well, interesting that you say that, because I'll tell you the other sign that your house is paid for, and that is in the newel post, they would put a white, I guess, marble or ivory plug in the top of the newel post, and that meant that your house was paid for.
Well, isn't that interesting? Okay, so that kind of, I mean, this is such a, I thought just like a very sort of odd, exotic,
well, that's a very exotic way to say. Yes,
but here you're saying again, like it's something with the newel post being involved. So maybe this is true. I had no idea, but
I've heard it several places. I think it is true.
Well, she kind of grew on me, and then what we did, it was all ratty and dirty and really bad wood, because apparently the Victorians in this, I may be wrong in this, but this is what I have read. If they were not of a certain means, the wood was not great because their intention was to paint it. It was almost like using paint grade wood for your cabinetry if you knew you're not going to paint.
That's right.
Right.
So, the house originally was dark forest green. All the trim was dark forest green.
Oh my!
I
think it's. Well, I just saw it online that's back in.
That's that color.
Yeah, green's the color, right?
That's
but the
that
old
color when they mix everything up. That's the color you would get.
Right? When everything's swirled
seriously.
Together.
That's what you would
that's
get.
What happened. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, he took it all off. And so the man who lived here before us, had it all down to the wood. And then he stained it this really, bad color. Again, maybe all mixed up stains. But the wood was all different. So it's so bad. So we've done a similar treatment to what Yvonne and Bobby have done. So I have white risers, black treads, but my hand drill and everything is simply white. So all the newel posts and everything just looks so pretty. And then the lady looks so much better. And actually, I think she smiled.
I want to see the lady. You painted her? She's painted now?
No, she's not painted. She's metal.
Oh, okay. I've got to see her.
Yeah. She's pretty fab.
That must look so unique and unusual and wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty unique and unusual and wonderful. But I have to say the black and white, when I told some people that we were painting so much of the house that we were inside, we're like, oh, you're painting the wood. But it really needed to be painted. And it just looks so much better. And I was going to put a stair runner on, but I just love the black and it's easy to clean.
I know. I love that look of a stair runner, but I didn't do it either.
Did you paint your treads? Did you paint those black?
Yeah, so they're black and the risers are white.
Okay, because we still have like a chestnut. We just have chestnut wood on ours. Now we do have a stair runner, which we chose to do because I love the look of just the stair, but it's so noisy.
I kind of like because I know certain steps. It's going to a little creak and a little that. I kind of like it. It's not too noisy.
So
for me.
If someone's coming up the stairs.
Well, I can definitely hear my teenager coming home.
Oh yeah, we want to know when that's happening.
Within
maybe
curfew.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to make it too easy for people to sneak in.
Yes, that's true. Or out.
Going both ways. So there's so many things that you can do if you're unhappy with your staircase. And here I am. I'm sitting in my study and we have back stairs and I'm looking because we've not finished with the study. And I actually have a small, a newel and a small railing and the post and everything going up about 4 steps. And then there's a landing and then up the rest of the way, which I can't see. And I'm thinking, I haven't gotten to that one yet. So like, what am I going to do with it? So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do to pretty up, modern up, upscale your stairs if they need painted or, if you want to get into the wrought iron. That's a beautiful, beautiful look.
Either of you ever removed carpet from stairs?
Yes, we did.
Okay, both of you have. So is that a bugaboo?
Well, the guy who lived here before, I think he put it in with maybe some thumbtacks and staple gun. And then there were actually a couple of nails that were like 4 inches long. But here's the funny part. So one of the first things we did, in fact, I remember, I guess we owned the house, or I don't even think we had closed yet, but I said, I need to get this carpet out of here because my daughter has allergies and it was just so bad. So there was one carpet on the 3rd floor that we took out. And while the guy was here, I was like, do you mind if we just take the stairs carpets off? And so we started to take the stair carpets off and he and I were pulling. And as I said, these things were flying out, staples and literally thumbtacks. And he had... when people put those pieces of metal across
Yes, I love those. They're so pretty.
Which can look very classic and elegant. And I never really looked. There was a lot to look at, let's just say. So I didn't really spend that much time looking at those. But when we got close to them, what he had used? You guys are going to crack up.
Oh, no.
I bet I can guess.
He used the tiny little cafe curtain rod.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's more common than you think.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I was like, whoa, this is, and it, because it came off and then I pulled it and it extended. And I was like, this is our curtain rod. But kind of ingenious. I mean, you think, the way he had fixed it was these kind of like homemade U-shaped metal pointy things and he stuck them into things. So there's probably a better way to have fixed them, but hey, it's probably a lot less expensive than if you go buy the thing that is intended for that.
Yes. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that didn't surprise me. I've seen that. But ours was easy because it just, it didn't cover our whole, like the ends of the stairs. It just went down the middle.
Probably did make
we
it
just
easier.
ripped it right up. And we did put another stair runner on and it looks like a sisal rug. But it's not.
That sounds nice.
Well, but sisal, I don't know if it would hold up on a stair.
I know. I was worried about that
I'm just
too.
saying
That's why I haven't
sounds
done
like
it.
it looks nice, right?
And it does. We got it it was very high end and it was, a little bit on the expensive side, but that's the look I wanted. Here's the only thing about it, because it's textural and light and people, when you go up the stairs, you sort of dig your feet in as you go. If anyone wears shoes, everything from your shoes comes off on it.
Oh,
and I was just looking at it. Yeah, I was just looking at it the other day. I was sitting in the living room and you can sort of look across to our foyer. And I thought, wow, like the very end of the stairs, of all the stairs, they look dirty.
Oh, right.
So I've got to call my carpet, cleaning people out and say, hey, can you get this out? Because it's so textural that we might have a hard time getting it out. I mean, it's a beautiful look, but you'd have to really do some homework. See, I thought I did a lot of homework to get something that would wear well. Now it wears like iron, but it definitely needs to be cleaned.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
Well, and I like the wood stairs. Now, my dog's gotten to where I think they got waxed a bit too much, and I think she had a bad experience flying down the stairs one time.
Sure.
Poor Molly. So now she won't even go up the stairs unless it's thundering. Then, well, that's different.
Then it's necessity. She has to get up.
It's an emergency. It's bad emergency.
Yes.
That way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, let's move first of all, what do you feel about a whole carpeted step?
No.
Well, that's what we have in the mountains, and I'm just not crazy about it. I have the wood stairs at home, and I just love that look. Mm-hmm. So it's not my favorite. So, it's just something. I mean, some people are just stuck with it and they can't really afford to change it out. So some people, I don't know if you have any tips for people that can't take theirs out.
Here's what I was going to ask. What about if you take it off and your stairs don't have like the nice finished wood? You could paint those just like you did, Kelly. True?
Yeah, you could paint them. But, if the staircase, I would just be worried about taking it off. It's one of those hidden things, right? So if you take it all off, and what if it's just really raw on the edges and it doesn't have a bullnose to the rise or the tread or anything like that? Then you're really stuck. So, you may want to just pull back a little bit, see what you can see there. Because, it's sometimes when you do things at home improvement and you open up a can of worms that you're not prepared to deal with. So I would be hesitant to do that. There are a lot of other things that we're going to talk about today that if you have fully carpeted stairs, you can still change the look if you want to, and keep the fully carpeted. And it is comfortable and it is quiet. And if you have carpeting in other parts of your house, it makes sense. Like if I had fully carpeted staircase, it would look really odd in my house because I don't have any other carpeting. I just have some, area rugs. I don't. And so it would look like, a person with like a cast on their arm or something, like something really different. Like, why is that all carpeted and she doesn't have carpet anywhere else? Gotcha. But if you have carpet in other areas in your house, I think that's absolutely fine. And if you want to change up the staircase by painting the spindles or the handrail or getting a new newel post. I did have one thing I wanted to say about the newel post, which I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia one time, and an antique store.
I love that town.
It's a great town, isn't it?
It's wonderful.
We were visiting my mother-in-law, and she doesn't live too far from there, and we went out for the day, and they had this old-timey kind of like little soda fountain shop. The girls were little. We had such a good time, but we were building a house in New York at the time, and I wanted to have a special newel post like Anita's saying she had, and I found one in the store and I bought it. Now I'm bringing it back, to New York from Virginia. I guess we drove. I don't think I got on, Southwest with it.
No, I'm pretty sure you didn't.
But again, you never know.
You'd have to buy it a seat.
It would buy it a seat, exactly. No, I'm going to sit with my newel post. My husband can sit in the back.
In my lap. Yeah,
exactly. But it wasn't the right size. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, that would be so important to be the right size.
Well, what do you mean it was the wrong size?
Well, it just because the staircase was. Yeah, it was just, it didn't meet the staircase in the right
spot. For the
spot.
slant of.
So was it metal or wood?
It was wood. And so you could have built it up a little bit, but the way it was formed and the design of it, it just looked like you would have stuck something on the bottom. So just be careful if you do that. If you see something in an antique store, if you're in the market for that, make sure you measure to see where the angle of your handrail is coming down. So it makes sense where the newel post is meeting that. So you still got something above it. I ended up using it in the garden and put a birdhouse on it and stuck it in the ground. And so
that sounds beautiful.
It was there
you go.
So be sure so I think it probably could have been used, but it would have required some modification. So what happened with mine was I bought this while they were building the house. I was so excited about it. And when it came time for them to work on the stairs, my builder came to me and said, Anita, it's not going to work because they're afraid to tie into it because it's so old. They're afraid it's going to crumble. And I said, my whole house revolves around this newel post. What do you mean it's not going to work? And I had a little mini meltdown there. And he said, oh, okay, hold on. Don't get upset.
I think we can make it work.
I think it's breaking up here. So he worked with the metalworking guy and they came up with this basically a boot for it to stick in. It's black. It's wrought iron black, but it was all faded. So they kind of made this boot for it to fit in. And I painted over it. You'd never know that part is new. And we know. Well, and it was too short. Yeah. So that gave them something strong to tie into and it raised it up. But again, I think that they were both really willing to work with me. And sometimes you get
especially when you want to cry or have a meltdown.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, well, it really works. Bob says, Yvonne, just cry.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I can't cry on demand like that. I'm just not a crier, so I don't know. I think I don't know what I did, but it was something pathetic. I'm sure. So
yelling doesn't help.
No, I didn't really yell.
No, I knew you wouldn't.
But I just
imagine you really yelling.
No, Anita. I wasn't yelling, and I wasn't crying, but I think I just looked incredibly pathetic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that worked.
But my point is, see, my builder Hyrit is a very creative guy, and the guy working on it, I think, was a creative guy, the metal worker. So some people are not going to be interested in making your vision work. Some people are not creative, and some people are just in a hurry. So you really, if you're working with true craftsmen, they love a challenge and they'll make it work. So, if you find one person that says it can't be done, keep looking. There's probably somebody else that will love the challenge.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. Or you figure out how you're going to make your boot for yourself. You'll get there if you want to.
Well,
get there, right?
My metalworking skills are a little limited, but.
Well, girls, let's go on and move from the stairs, and let's talk about what to do with our walls.
Okay.
All right. Well, before we get to artwork.
No, I'm thinking about what do we cover them with? How do we dress them?
Oh, okay. Because
something.
I love the paneling that goes up the stairs, and it makes my heart go pitter patter. Mm-hmm. So that is something that you can add after the fact. If you don't have it, it can be added.
Oh, so beautiful.
And it just adds so much drama, because I really am not one. Now, I know you're going to be talking about things we can put on the walls, but I don't like a lot of things on my walls, especially on the stairs. And if you have good bones, if you have beautiful risers and treads, you have beautiful balustrades, then and the paneling, you don't need much else.
Balustrade is so much nicer word than spindle. It is the same spindle. Thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think it's the handrail and the post together.
So it's a whole shebang. It's the balustrade. I love that.
I think you can use things like wainscoting, shiplap. There's so many things you can use to put on your walls, like it's an architectural element that can go on your walls, but exposed brick. Now, my daughter kept the exposed, they took off the plaster of their 100-year-old home on Capitol Hill to expose the brick. And then they had that treated. And that is, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Does it have paint on it?
It's been all treated. Not too much. There's maybe a little down towards the basement.
So is it pretty red looking?
Yeah, it's pretty red, but it's very old. And then you could also, if you like that look, you can get those brick veneers.
I think that's a gorgeous look.
Yes, that just don't, they're what, maybe a half an inch thick or whatever. They're not very thick, an inch thick, and you can brick your wall as well. But I think it would be beautiful to brick your wall and then paint it
white.
What
are those veneers made of? What are those brick veneers made of? Is it actual brick?
I doubt it. That would be too heavy for your wall, I would think.
Right.
Well, they look very much like tile. Like, I don't know. So, they look very authentic, though. I must say that. You wouldn't know that really.
And if you put some paint on them, I think, especially like the German schmear, I think it'd be gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a beautiful, beautiful look? Like getting that exposed painted brick look. Just beautiful. And also wallpaper.
That's really touching into our industrial podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Which was
episode
68. That's right. What about wallpaper?
Well,
that would be gorgeous.
I think it's a really fun place to add some wallpaper. And, it's a limited space normally. It really depends on how your staircase is opening up to the rest of your room or house.
Exactly.
So I agree. You could think of it as its own little room, if you will, but you really have to think of it just like you would any other room. How is it flowing to the rest of it? And normally a staircase is leading somewhere, and it's especially the front one. If you have two staircases, the front one usually is fairly open. Would you agree? Sometimes it's, if you have a back staircase, it's really closed in, you can't see it. It's onto itself. But if it's open to the rest of the room, you have to be aware.
You can see my second floor from the first floor going up the stairs. So I was thinking about doing my long hallway upstairs, and then just that small section of going up the stairs with some repositional wallpaper.
I think that would be really great.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Gorgeous.
And nothing florally, sort of a geometric pattern maybe.
I think that would be such a fun pop and a little, like toe dip into the wallpaper world.
Although it might, but hanging wallpaper on stairs is not going to be an easy feat.
That's why
if you're going up to the ceiling.
Well, even Bobby, a little to the left. Bobby, a little more back to the right.
Just be careful on those stairs, people.
He's a wonderful wallpaperer. So I'm very blessed to have him, because he would certainly do that, or you could get somebody in. But the repositional wallpaper is great, because if you make a mistake, it's almost, you just take it off and slap it back up. It's real easy to do.
Right. But I'm just saying, if it's hard, you have to get a special ladder sometimes. Or scaffolding.
Well, he's painted that, so he's made his own scaffolding.
Oh, well, then he'll be happy to do that.
He's good to go. He's good to go. What about painting?
Well, yeah, painting. I think you could also paint it. An accent color would be like a fun place to have an accent wall. In our back, we do have a back staircase, which I guess would be the maid staircase. So we might as well just call it my staircase. But from the kitchen up to the girls' TV room, so it's not really used by that many people. And that one is fairly enclosed.
That isn't the sneak in after midnight stairs that are
no,
used?
Because you have to come in the front door. They don't come in through the back door. So if you're coming in, and nobody should be entering or leaving after midnight, Missy.
Got that, girls?
Got that? Let's look at that out there.
Mama just said.
Yeah. But I ended up because I couldn't stop with the planking. I was just crazed with the planking and those packets of, I believe it's Ever True. I think I talked about this before, and it's in one of the show notes. I'll put them in again. But those packs from Lowe's, they did the job, because it was such a boring staircase. It was kind of just like a pinball shoot, just like down and then one little turn, and then you're down into the kitchen. So there was really nothing going on. And, you could have hung things, but you're so close to it. You can't even really appreciate whatever's there. And oddly enough, there's a porthole at the top of the staircase. I'm not sure why.
Window.
A porthole window, an actual porthole, as if there's no water close by, but we're looking to see if our ship is coming in.
Wait a minute. Is this on an outside wall? Is there a window
an outside
there?
Wall? Yeah.
So there's a window there?
It's a porthole window.
I'm telling you, that's for those teenage girls to see if mom and dad are coming home.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Yes. Well, you couldn't get out that window. I think you would get stuck. But the staircase, other than that porthole, is very boring. So the planking, and then you're going to want to edge that planking with a small piece of wood. They have that kind of wood at Home Depot or the other places. It just kind of like has a little lip to it on the bottom, and really inexpensive. And you just trim it out with that, and it looks really great.
Did you do it horizontally?
I did
vertically?
Vertically.
Okay.
And so it, just sort of elongates the whole look, and then painted it the Simply White. And it is terrific and really inexpensive.
While we're talking about stairs, I thought it would be fun to bring up the fact that, remember the old kitty? The old kitty gates and the doggy gates that were so hideous looking, and now there's so many charming, adorable ones. You can look on Pinterest or Google it. There's so many great ideas.
Those things were so ugly, you almost just wanted to risk it. It's like, God, I really don't want to put that in plastic thing in my house.
Oh, I know. I couldn't wait to get rid of that gooey, this cushiony stuff around my fireplace. Ugh, to keep the kids from falling on the brick.
Oh, yeah.
And at some point, I'm like, oh, you're old enough. You're fine.
Yeah, like you do that once, you're not going to do it again. Come on.
That's right.
So funny. I forgot about those. Oh, my gosh.
Well,
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh, so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about. Visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
We were going to talk about what kind of art to hang on walls.
Okay, well,
but we don't even have time.
Well, you can throw one in.
But why don't we just wait and do it as another episode?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of good ideas. I don't want to just
we didn't even get to them. All right.
No.
All right. Well, stay tuned, gang. There's going to be part 2. I don't think we've ever had a part 2.
Oh, this is exciting.
And I know, how much could you talk about with staircases? God, we have the gift of the gab.
We
girlies.
do. And we do our homework, though, too.
Mm-hmm.
We do. And I'm thinking, yes, I do have a lot of things to say about staircase art.
Interesting. We have opinions about everything, apparently.
Yeah.
All decor, everything decor, right?
Oh, wow.
And then some.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So this has been fabulous. I hope you got some great ideas for your staircase. It's been fun hanging out with you. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey there. If you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy and it would mean so much to us.